Man, oh man, do we love taking you to brand new breweries. This place has just opened up. It's Field Day Brewing in North Liberty. You're gonna love this place, although I gotta warn you, it is a big space. In fact, it's so big, we're probably gonna need a wider shot. Could we cue the drone, please? Field Day, I want to get started with asking about the name, because whoever came up with the name deserves a raise. It seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's like you're paying homage to agriculture and the fields of opportunities in Iowa, but also Field Day means you're having a lot of fun, like, hey, have a field day. Who came up with the name?
I think it was mine, but
come on, Joe, that's a great name.
Yeah. I think you nailed it, right? That's the bit of our name. It's an homage to the state of Iowa. We're native Iowans and then opened a brewery in our home state that we're really proud of. So Iowa fields, there's cornfields, soybean fields, agricultural background of the state. And obviously, there's kind of the nostalgic play of those field days back in the day, like recess time, but yeah, go on, have yourself a field day, and it's kind of been our mantra since we started.
And there are fields in Iowa that are not quite as big as this place. I'm going to give you a little bit of a hard time because is it 2,100 square feet?
It's about almost 22,000 square feet.
What did I say? 2,100? 22,000 square feet.
Yeah.
So we've got the mezzanine. You've got a gorgeous patio space that looks to be by a pond. You've got a kids park. You've got duck pin bowling, which I want to know more about. But what I have to get started with is this incredible beer. What you're doing here is a little bit different than some of the other places that we've been in terms of your brewing process. I'm hoping you can walk me through why these two beers that I've just had, no joke, some of the best. This Czech Pilsner is one of the best beers I've ever had in my life.
We worked with our manufacturer for about the last 2 years to get a custom-made system that is designed for decoctions and step mashes and doing these traditional lagers the right way.
I'm going to stop you right there. When you say decoction, what does that mean?
So, I have to ask him too.
All the time.
We
all
use
the time.
big words.
Everybody's
Tell me what this stuff means.
Break it down, make it easier.
We're here to learn and have fun. So when you say decoction.
Decoction.
What is that exactly?
So it's a historical technique of brewing where we take a section of our mash, which is the malted barley and water, and we separate it, a small portion, and we bring it to a boil. And then we take that boiled component and we bring it back to the whole mash to increase the temperature and do different, what we call rests. And what we're doing is we're doing these rests to do acid rests and protein rests and enzymatic rests for fermentation and body and mouthfeel. But what we've really found is that it creates a fuller, just more rounded beer with more flavor. So it creates a Maillard reaction. We caramelize those sugars in that malt when we boil it, and then we bring it back and we can do those step mashes. So these are both 100% Pilsner malt. This beer is double decocted, this beer is step mash. You can see that color. I mean, that is from that decoction process. So that deep gold, it just brings out such a robust malt flavor that you really can't mimic.
So you were telling me that you can use different ingredients and maybe even more local and more heirloom ingredients in your beer.
Yep.
Help me understand that.
So one of the tanks that we have, we are a 4-vessel, 15-barrel system. So 4 vessels means we cook on 4 tanks, and then 15-barrel is just the volume that we make. So we about 30 kegs at a time. And one of those tanks is specifically designed for decoctions and what we call cereal mashes. So I've worked with a local farmer up north by Decorah who grows heirloom corn that we can bring in-house, and we can process it in-house by doing a cereal mash.
Heirloom corn is not corn you can get at Hy-Vee.
No.
That's corn like it tasted,
150 years ago.
Right, 1800s, early 1900s.
Yep. So it's a corn that is very raw in its organic material, and usually when breweries or brewers use these ingredients, they can't use that raw product. They have to get it processed from a larger manufacturer, and then they break it down for them, and then they can get used in their beer. We're able to take that raw process, work with that farmer directly, get it here immediately, and we can break it down in-house and make these beers right here.
Czech Pilsner's like one of my all-time favorite styles. This is the best Czech Pilsner I've ever had in my life.
Thank you.
I'm not exaggerating. And the attention to detail, like you're doing little things in here, and things that I have to assume are time-consuming, right? Yeah. And things that are probably a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
Walk me through why this beer tastes as good as it tastes.
I mean, we're using 100% Moravian malt.
Okay.
So one type of Pilsner malt, and it's grown in the Czech Republic. We're using one type of hop, and that's Czech Saz, grown in the Czech Republic. After that, we're stripping our water clean. I build it back to mimic that water profile of the Czech Republic. We are brewing it the hard way. We do double decoctions. That process takes 12 hours instead of 5 for a brew. It's hotter, it's dirtier, it's just like you're in it, you're in it. And we call it brewing the hard way because it's harder for us, but when we get that beer 8 weeks later, it makes it worth it.
It's Prague in a glass is what it is.
Yeah, so we pour it in a Prague tankard.
Right.
That's straight from Somme glassware. That is a Prague. That glassware is designed for the Czech Republic.
Did you think maybe we'll open up a smaller brewery first and see how that goes?
That's what we originally talked.
That was the point. It was going to be a small system, small brew house. And eventually the project kept growing and growing, and it is what it is now. But you need a lot of space to brew beer, a lot more than we envisioned. The stuff that he wanted to brew requires a lot of space. Our brew house system is large. We need space to store things. And everybody kept telling us, you're gonna run out of cold storage, you're gonna run out of places to put things. So we built a little bit bigger, and then it kept getting a little bit bigger. And but ultimately, half the space here is dedicated to producing beer. It takes up a lot of room to make the product that we want to.
We're here right before they open. So by the time you're watching this, they're open. And I'm begging you, once the show's over, get to North Liberty. It looks to me like a bowling alley had an affair with a skee ball machine.
That's the basic.
It's a great way to put it.
Is that it?
Uh-huh. Yeah, because you're
And
rolling
this is
straight.
the unholy union of their forbidden love. It's duck pin bowling.